Now, to implement paging on the client, we need a pagination component like this. So we built this component in my Angular course for beginners. It's pretty simple. It has a couple of input properties for setting the page size and the total number of items. And it also raises an event whenever we change the page number. At this point, we can make a new API call and get the vehicles for the current page. Now, to save time, I'm not going to implement this component one more time. You can download it from this lecture and review the code on your own. Now, here in the project, in the components folder, I've created a new folder called shared. And here we have all the reusable components, like pagination. I've also registered this component in our app module. So in the declarations, you can see the pagination component. Now let's go to our vehicle list template. So vehicle list HTML. Just below this table, I'm going to add the pagination component. So pagination. Now here we need to set a couple of input properties. One is total dash items. Now currently our API is not returning the total number of vehicles. It's only returning vehicles in a given page, which is by default 10 records in page 1. So here I'm going to temporarily hard code a number. And then in the next lecture, we're going to modify our API to return the actual number of records in the database. So the second input property we need to set is page size. And I'm going to bind this to query.pageSize. Now let's go to our component. So here's our query object. I'm going to set a property here, page size. Set it to 3. Okay, now back to the template. So these are the two input properties we need to set. Now this component also has an output property or an event called page changed. So I'm going to bind this to a method called onPageChange. And here this event object is the actual page number. Now let's implement this method. So back in the component, onPageChange, here we have the page. We set this.query.page to this new page and populate our vehicles. So since the total number of records is 10, with 3 records per page, we should have 4 pages. Now in page 1, we have records 1, 3, and 4. We can go to page 2, we have 5, 6, and 11. We can navigate forward and backward. Beautiful. So our pagination is working. In the next lecture, we're going to fix the issue with the total items.